Hello students, I'm Anup sir and today I'm going to make class 10th practice the questions based on proportion. Last video I showed you what are the fourth proportional, what is the third proportion, what is the mean proportion. Now in this I will tell you how to prove certain equalities given to us when terms A, B, C, D will be given in proportion or in continual proportion and so on. So first of all, let me tell you, if A, B, C, D are in proportion, then what does it mean and how can you prove using it the certain questions? See. Now, if A, B, C, D are in proportion, then we know what will be the meaning of it. A upon B is equal to C upon D. Right? This will be the meaning. A upon B is equal to C upon D. Now, when it's a proving one question, with the help of this, if you are asked to prove a certain question, then what will you do? As these two ratios are equal, so let each of the ratio be equal to K. We will suppose each of the ratio is equal to K. Now, equating the first one with K. So when you cross multiply, you are getting A is equal to BK. This is the first substitution that you are getting, right? Second ratio equated with K. So you are getting it C is equal to BK. So that's the second substitution you are getting. So what you will do in the question given on the left side, first you will take the left side and you will do these two substitutions. Only these two. A will be replaced with BK and C will be replaced with DK on the left side, and you will solve the left side. Then similarly these substitutions will be done on the right side and you will solve the right side, and then you will see you will get the same result solving the LHS and RHS, and we will say hence the question is proved. So this is the case when four terms A, B, C, D will be given in proportion. Only two substitutions, C, A and C. Whatever is in the denominator place, it will remain as it is. Like B was in the denominator place, D was in the denominator place. So in the question on the left side and the right side, no substitution for B and D. They will remain as it is. Only substitutions will be made for A and C. Now this is when A, B, C, D are in proportion. Now what if A, B, C, D are in continued proportion? So remember, these two substitutions will be made. Now if A, B, C, D are in continued proportion, okay, if A, B, C, D are in continued proportion, then what will be the relation between them? A upon B is equal to B upon C is equal to C upon D. This will be the relation. Now, as we did in the previous one, we will equate these three ratios which are equal to K. Now in the previous one I said whatever the terms are in numerator place, you are going to substitute those terms. But here you see B is in denominator as well as in numerator, C is in numerator as well as in denominator. So here we can't take it like this, that only the one in the numerator places will be replaced. Here that will do, that only the one in the numerator place will be replaced, but all of them have to be converted in terms of the last term, and the last term over here is D. So you have to convert A, B and C. This A, B and C. These three to be converted in terms of D. Whichever is the last term. Last term is D. Whenever the terms are given in continued proportion, you will write them like this. The relation that they have got, A upon B is equal to B upon C is equal to C upon D, and let it be equal to K. Now the last term is D, so you have to practice get A, B and C, all the terms lying before it in terms of D. So see how you will do it. We will start with the last ratio here. Last one is C upon D. Equate it with K and get value of C. So we are getting C is equal to dk. So we have got C in terms of D, that is our first substitution. So that means in the question, left side and right side, wherever you will get C, you will replace it with dk. Okay, now going in the reverse order, coming to B upon C. This B upon C, when equated with K, cross multiply, you are getting B is equal to CK. But I told you that you have to get all of them A, B and C in terms of D. So here we are getting B is equal to CK. Now from equation number 1, C can be replaced by, here C can be replaced by dk. C was replaced by dk and this k is already there. So it becomes dk square. That will be the second substitution. That means in the whole question, B will be replaced by dk square. Coming to the first ratio, A upon B is equal to K. So equate it. So A is equal to bk. Right? Now B, here B can be replaced by dk square. See, B was dk square, so in place of B you are substituting dk square and k is already there. So it's dk cube. So see, we have got A, B, C all in terms of D. So what you will do when you have to prove the question on LHS as well as on RHS, you are going to make these substitutions. And making these substitutions, you will get LHS is equal to RHS. Remember, these substitutions have to be made. Only A, B and C. D will remain as it is on the left side and right side. No substitution for D. Only substitution will be done for A, B and C. Whenever the terms are in continued proportion, then for the last term you do not make any substitution, but for the terms lying before it, you have to do the substitution in terms of it. So here the last term is D, so no substitution will be made for D. D will remain as it is on LHS and RHS, but A, B and C, the terms lying before it, will be replaced as like this. But if they are not in continued, this one, then only substitution for the numerator terms A and C. Only substitution for A and C. B and D will remain as it is. But in continued, only last will remain as it is and the one lying before it, all will be replaced. So you can, this working you can show or you can directly write. If you just write this and then you can write directly these values. No need to show the working. But this you have to write. Now remember, as we go in the backward direction, power of K will increase. Now this is one place back. So C will be dk. Now B is two places back. So B will be dk square. A is 1, 2, 3 places back. So it will be D into K cube. Or you just see how I have worked it out. Similarly, you can do for 3 terms ABC. Now I told you 3 terms ABC in proportion or in continued proportion, meaning is the same. See, for 4 terms ABCD, in proportion meaning is different. ABCD in continued proportion meaning is different. But if there are 3 terms ABC, ABC are three terms, whether they say ABC are in proportion or in continued proportion, meaning will remain the same. And it will be like this: A upon B is equal to B upon C. Let it be equal to K. The same you did over here, you will do over here. Right? Because this is continued. So in continued, the last one is C. So you have to get A and B in terms of C. See, equating the last one, if you equate it, what you will get? B is equal to CK. Equate this one, so cross multiply, so A is equal to BK. And B from here can be replaced with CK. So in these questions, where you have only three terms in proportion A, B, C, then the last one is C. So this last one will be replaced. Sorry, last one will not be replaced, but A and B will be replaced in terms of C. You can show this working, or you can directly learn it. It is one place back. So this will be in terms of this. B will be CK. This is two places back. This is two places back. This one, two places back. So this will be in terms of C, CK square. So in this exercise or in this video, we are going to practice these types of question in which ABCD proportion or continued proportion, this will be given to you and you have to make these substitutions. Hope this is clear to you, so you can note it down and then we will be starting with the questions. Proportion. Now if ABCD are in proportion, then the relation between them will be like this: A upon B is equal to C upon D. This will be the relation. Let it be equal to K. Now if you equate this one, so you will get A is equal to BK, and if you equate this one, you will get C is equal to DK. Now these two substitution, A is equal to BK and C is equal to DK, that we have to make on the left side and on the right side, and then result should be equal. So let us try this one. So here we will solve the first one. So left hand side. For the left hand side, let us substitute A by BK. In the numerator place, we have replaced A and now we have to replace C. So when we solve this, we get B square K square plus B square K. D square K square plus D square K. Here you will get B square K common, so you will be left with K plus 1. And in the denominator place, you can take B square K common, so you will be left with K plus 1. Now here when we reduce this, so result for the left side is B square upon B square. So this point is clear to you. So we have got the result for left side. Now let us solve it for right side. In the same way, we will do the substitution on the right side. Now here we have B square first of all. So let it be like this: B square, and then we have minus 2. A will be replaced by BK into B upon, in the denominator place we have B square minus twice BK into D. So here we are getting B square minus 2b square k upon d square minus 2d square k. So here if we take b square common, you are left with 1 minus 2k. In the denominator place you take d square common, so you are left with 1 minus 2k. Now you can see over here, this will cancel out. So the result for the left side is b square upon d square. So you can see the result for left side and for the right side is same. So we can say we have proved that LHS is equal to RHS. Now let's see the second one. The same substitutions to be done in the second part also. First of all, starting with the left side, a square will be replaced by bk. So square of it plus b square upon c square will be replaced by dk. So d square, like this. We have replaced a and c. So let's see. This will give you b square k square plus b square. This is b square k square plus d square. So on taking b square common, k square plus 1, taking d square common, k square plus 1. So this much is clear. We substituted and now we are solving it. This will cancel out. So your left side result is coming b square upon b square. So we have solved the left side and we are getting the result b square upon d square. Now let us try for the right side. Let's do the substitution. Now first of all we have to replace a. A will be replaced by bk and then into b plus bk into d and then minus b. C will be replaced by dk. Okay. Now similarly in the denominator place, b will remain as it is, c will be replaced by dk, and plus c will be replaced by dk into d, minus a will be replaced by bk into d. Now after substituting these values, you see we are getting negative bdk, positive ddk. So this cancel out. Similarly in the denominator place, this is b k into b. So these two will cancel out. bk d and bk d. This will cancel out. In the denominator place, minus bkd plus bkd. This will cancel out. So in the numerator place, you are left with b square k. Whereas in the denominator place, this will become b square k. Now here you can see k will cancel out. So your result will be b square upon b square. So LHS and RHS both are equal. So hence proof LHS is equal to RHS. This was required. This is clear to you, so you can copy it down. We have to prove LHS is equal to RHS. Now on the LHS side, we are going to replace A and C. As you can see, A is to be replaced by BK and C is to be replaced by DK. So wherever we are getting A and C, we are replacing A by BK and C by DK. After replacing A and C, you can see in the numerator part B has been taken common, in denominator part D has been taken common. And after that you can see these two will cancel out, reduce each other, and your left side result will be B upon D. Now coming to the right hand side, similarly on the right hand side, wherever we were getting A here, this is to be replaced by BK and C is to be replaced by DK. So we have replaced A by BK and it was A square, so it becomes square of it. Similarly for C. Now when you square it, you are getting twice B square K square, and here you are getting twice D square K square. Now within the root sign, you can see you can take B square common. So we have taken B square common, so we are left with 2k square plus 7. In the denominator place, you can take D square common, so you are left with 2k square plus 7. This 2k square plus 7 will reduce here. This will reduce out. So you will be left with within the root sign B square upon D square, and when you take under root of it, it becomes B upon D. So your LHS is equal to RHS, and this was to be proved. So you can pause and note down this. Now in question number 2, they have said ABCD are in continued proportion. So as I have explained you earlier, that if ABCD are in proportion, in continued proportion, that means the relation between them will be this: A upon B is equal to B upon C is equal to C upon D, and we let it be equal to K. Now when they are in continued proportion, you have to find A, B and C in terms of D. So C will be equal to dk, B will be equal to dk square, and A will be equal to dk cube. So this I have already explained you in the starting, how to get A, B, C in terms of D. Whenever they are in continued, you have to get it in the terms of the last variable, that is D. A, B, C in terms of D. That I have already explained you. Now these values will be substituted on the left side and on the right side. Now if you want, I can explain you once again how I got this. See, A upon B is equal to B upon C is equal to C upon D. Let it be equal to K. You start with the last one. Last ratio is C upon D. If you equate it, so you are getting C is equal to dk. So you have got value of C in terms of D. Now the second last one, this one, when you equate this, you will be getting B is equal to CK, and here you can see C can be replaced by dk. So this C will be replaced by dk, and K is already there. So it becomes D into K square. And then the first one, A upon B is equal to K. So A is equal to BK. Now B will be replaced by DK square. And K is already there. So it becomes D into K cube. So we have got A, B, C in terms of D. So this is how we get the value. This I have already explained in the starting, you can see there. Okay, now for the first one, starting with the left hand side. Here A. Now we know that A is to be replaced by dk cube. So dk cube and then square. Now B is to be replaced by dk square, then whole square. So here what we have done in the first bracket, we have replaced A and B into, we have C to be replaced by dk minus d square. So if you solve this one, so in the first bracket you are getting d square k raised to power of 6. This becomes d square k raised to power of 4. Here it becomes d square k square minus d square. From the first bracket you can take d square k raised to power of 4 common, so you will be left with k square minus 1. Here you can take d square common, so you will be left with k square minus 1. Now this d square k power 4 multiplied by d square, this will give you d raised to power of 4 into k raised to power of 4, and when these two brackets will be multiplied, you will get whole square like this. Hope this is clear to you. When you multiply these two brackets, you will get whole square, and this d square multiplied by d square d. Now this we have got the left hand side. Now we will go for the right hand side. Now let's see what the right hand side. Right hand side we have b square. This is b square minus c square. So now we know that b is to be replaced by dk square and c is to be replaced by dk. And then we have whole square. Okay. Now see here, when you square it, d square k raised to power of 4 minus d square k square. Now here you can take within this bracket, you can take d square common and k square also common. So you are left with k square minus 1. Okay. Now when you do the whole square, this d square when squared becomes d raised to power of 4, k square when squared becomes k raised to power of 4, and you have to put square of this bracket. So see, these three factors will be squared, so this will become 4, this will become 4, and this will become whole square. So whatever was your left side result, the same is the right side result. So you can say LHS is equal to RHS. So thus we have solved the first part. We were to show left hand side is equal to right hand side. Now on the left side we have a plus d in the first bracket. So as you can see, a is to be replaced by d k q and d will remain as it is. In the second bracket, b to be replaced by dk square and c to be replaced by dk. Then minus a plus c. A is dk cube plus dk, and then dk square plus d. So we have substituted a, b and c with the result that we have got. Okay, after substituting it, now let us try to take common. Now in the first one, here you can see you can take d common. So you are left with k cube plus 1. Here you can take dk common. So you are left with k plus 1. Here you can take dk common. So you are left with k square plus 1. You take d common, you are left with k square plus 1. Hope this part is clear to you? Okay, now you multiply these two, so this becomes d square k. And then you have to multiply these two brackets, k square plus 1 into k plus 1. Here if you multiply these two, they become d square k. And then you have to multiply k square plus 1 into k square plus 1. This is clear? Whatever we have taken common, we have multiplied them. Now from these two, d square k can be taken common. So when you have taken d square k common, you are left with these two, k cube plus 1 into k plus 1. Here you have taken d square k common, so you are left with okay. Now let us multiply these two. So what will be the result? K raised to power of 4 plus k cube plus k plus 1. Now when you multiply these two brackets, all the results will be positive, but there is a minus sign, so sign of all the result will change. So you get k raised to power of 4, it becomes minus. You get k square minus k square, then again minus k square, and then minus 1. See, whatever result that you were getting over here, you have to change the sign. There is a minus sign. Now you see what cancels out from there. K raised to power of 4, this cancels out. And plus 1 minus 1 cancels out. Okay, nothing else to be cancelled out. So we can say here we have got k cube, then you have got minus 2k square, and then plus k, like this. Now from here you can take k common. Now if you take k common from here, you are left with k square minus 2k plus 1. Hope this is clear to you. So this becomes d square k square, and if you see this is representing the formula of k minus 1 whole square. If you see, this is the result of k minus 1 whole square. So we have replaced it. So this is the solution for the left hand side. Now we will go for the right hand side and see what will be the result. Let's solve for the right hand side. Now for the right hand side we have b minus c whole square. So within the bracket, first of all you are replacing b. So b to be replaced by dk square minus c to be replaced by dk, and then you have whole square. Now from here you can take dk common. So we are taking dk common, so we are left with k minus 1, and then we have whole square. See, whole square remains as it is. Here you have taken dk common. Okay, now you are squaring the product of these factors, 1, 2, 3 factors, and you have to take square. So first you will take square of d, then you will take square of k, and then you will take square of this bracket. So your result will be d square k square into k minus 1 whole square. Now remember, whenever there is a product and you have to take the square of that product, you have to take individually square of each factor. So you will take square of d, you will take square of k, and then you will take square of k minus 1. And now you tally your result with left hand side and right hand side. The result is same. So we can say LHS is equal to RHS, and it is true. So you can pause and note it down. Okay, now see in the third part, let's start with the left hand side. We have 3 under root terms. In the first one, we are replacing a and b. Now as you can see, a is to be replaced by dk cube, and then b is to be replaced by dk square. Here b dk square and c by dk, and the last root sign is for c. C is dk into d. We have replaced a, b and c. D remains as it is. Now see, in the first one, it is d square k raised to power of 5. Second one is d square k raised to power of 3. d square k. Now we will see how to take the under root. Now whenever a term has odd power, then how to take under root of it? That I will explain you here. See, this is k raised to, now if it's even power, now see this one, d square k raised to power of 5. Whenever it's even power, you do the half of the power, and that is the under root, right? But if it's odd power, then how to take the square root of it? Now see this one. Now when it is odd power, you separate power 1 and the rest. So you can write it like this, k raised to power of k into k raised to power of 1. Because if you solve it, it again becomes k raised to power of 5. So this process we usually do when we have to find square root of a term which is having an odd power. You separate 1 and let the rest of the even be separated from this one. Now when you do under root, what under root means? Under root means power is half. Now when you do the half of this, it becomes d. When you do half of this becomes k square, and when you do half of it, it becomes k raised to power of half. So that means the result will be d k square, and this k raised to power of half means root k. Hope this is clear for this one. D square k raised to power of 5. Whenever you are getting an odd power, then odd power, you separate one power from the other and you get an even power here. Now when you take square root, that means you have to do the half of the power. So half of this 1, half of this 2, and half of 1 will remain 1 by 2. So this will give you the result. So this portion can be written as d k square into root k. Similarly for this one, see, it is under root d square k 3. So we can write it like this, d square. Now this k cube can be written as k square into k. We have separated even and odd here, and then power half. So when you do half of it, this is d, you do half of it, this is k, and you do half of it, this is k raised to power of half. So this becomes dk into under root k. So our d square k cube, you see here, can be written like this. D k under root k, like this. Similarly, you can do for this. This is d square half. This will become d, and this is k. So this will become under root k. Hope this step is clear to you. Whenever it's odd power, how you can convert it even and odd. Okay, now the further result. Hope this is clear. Now what is common from here? You see, d is common, root k is common. So we are taking d root k common. So you are left with k square plus k minus 1. So on solving the left hand side, this is our result. Now let's solve for right hand side. Hope this is clear to you. Now d root k has been taken common, so you are left with this. Now solving for the right hand side. On the right hand side, first of all, within the root sign, we have to substitute the values. Now a will be replaced by d k cube. Then b will be replaced by d k square. C will be replaced by dk. This is dk square plus dk minus d. We have substituted here. Now let's see what will be common in the first bracket. Common in the first bracket will be dk. So you will be left with k square plus k minus 1. What will be common in the second bracket? D. So you will be left with k square plus k minus 1. So this is clear. Taken dk common from the first bracket, taken d common from the second bracket. Now whatever you have taken common, these two will be multiplied. So within the root sign, we are getting d square k. Now this bracket and this bracket, they are the same. So when they multiply, they become whole square. So this is clear to you. These two multiplied will give you whole square. Now when you take under root means you are going to do the power half. Now this is d square. Now when you half the power, it will become d. Now k raised to power of 1. Now under root means power half. So this becomes k raised to power of half. Now this one is having whole square. So when you take under root, you will do the power half. So k square plus k minus 1. So finally this can be written as d under root k into k square plus k minus 1. So on solving the right hand side, we got this result, which is equal to the result on the left hand side. So finally we can say LHS is equal to RHS. This will be the answer. Hope this is clear to you. So you can pause and note it down. Now in this question, they have said ABC are in proportion. Now remember, for three terms to be in proportion or in continued proportion, it has the same meaning. So we are going to write the three terms in continued proportion. A upon B is equal to B upon C. And then we will get A and B in terms of C. It's the similar as we did the last one. A, B, C, D were in proportion. So we got A, B, C in terms of D, the last one. Here A, B, C are in proportion. So last one is C. So you will get A and B in terms of C. And now you will substitute it. Now starting with the first one, on the left hand side, let's do the substitution. In place of A, we are substituting C k square. Then in place of B, C k, and C will remain as it is in the first bracket. Now in the second bracket, A is C k square minus B is C k plus C. So this is clear. Now what will be common from the first bracket? C is common. So k square plus k plus 1. Here also C is common. K square minus k plus 1. So C and C multiplied will give you C square, and then these two brackets are to be multiplied. Now see, these two brackets are not the same. So don't write whole square. They are not the same. This is having plus k, this is having minus k. So don't write whole square. You will simply multiply these two. And let's see what will be the result. you will get this result. Now in this result, if you see, what can be cancelled out? This k cube will cancel out. This k square will also cancel out. This plus k minus k will also cancel out. So finally your result is plus k square. So on substitution, you have got the result for left hand side. Now we will get the result for right hand side. So let's get the result for right hand side. So let's see what will be the result for right hand side. Right hand side we have a square, so that will be replaced with ck square whole square. Then b will be replaced by ck, and then we have whole square plus c square. So when you square it, you are getting c square k raised to power of 4 c square k square plus c square. Now here what can you take common? You can take c square common. So you will be left with k raised to power of 4 plus k square plus 1. So you can see your left side result and the right side result is coming same. So we have proved that LHS is equal to RHS. So this was required for the first one. Hope this is clear to you. If not, then pause the video and go through it once again. Now coming to the second part. Now the left hand side of the second part. Now let us substitute values over here. On the left side, this is a will be replaced by ck square, b will be replaced by ck upon ck plus c. You can take ck common, so you are left with k plus 1. In the denominator, you can take c common, so it is k plus 1. Now here you can see this will cancel out, this c will also cancel out, so your left hand result is k. Hope left hand side is clear to you. After taking common, whatever could be reduced, we have reduced it. And now going for the right hand side. Okay, on the right hand side, first of all we have square of a. So a is ck square, and then we are going to take square of it. Then within the bracket it is b minus c. So ck minus c. In the denominator place it is b square, and within bracket you have ck square minus ck. Hope this is clear to you. Here we have simply done the substitution. A and B have been replaced. So see, you are getting c square k raised to power of 4. Here you can take c common, so you are left with k minus 1. It becomes c square k square, and here you can take ck common, so you are left with k minus 1. So this is clear. Square of this will give you c square k raised to power of 4, and then taking c common, you are left with k minus 1. Square of this, and then taking ck common. Now see what will cancel out. C square cancels out, k minus 1 cancel out, c and c will cancel out. Now in the numerator place, you are left with k raised to power of 4, and in the denominator place you are left with k square into k, that is k cube. So when you reduce it, you are left with k. So your left side was equal to k, right hand side on solving is equal to k. So thus you can say LHS is equal to RHS. This was required to prove LHS is equal to RHS. Hope this is clear to you, so you can pause and note down it. Now in this question, we have been given three ratios are equal. We have been given that three ratios are equal, these three. Now we can consider these three ratios like this: A upon B is equal to C upon D is equal to E upon F. So we have a property: when ratios are equal, then each of the ratio is equal to the ratio formed by sum of the antecedents upon sum of the consequents. This is the property. In the starting I have told you about this property, that if two or more than two ratios are equal, then each of the ratio is equal to a ratio formed by, in the numerator place, sum of the antecedents, and denominator place, sum of the consequents. So we are going to apply this property here. So here A upon B means this first one. A upon B plus C is equal to B upon C plus A is equal to C upon A plus B, and we know by this property that each of this ratio will be equal to the ratio, a new ratio here, which will be formed by sum of the antecedents upon sum of the consequents. So if you add these, you will be getting twice of, I will show you the working here. You are adding here these, so A plus A, 2A plus 2B plus 2C. Hope this is clear to you. So if you solve it further, you will be getting A plus B plus C. You can take 2 common, so A plus B plus C. This will cancel out, is equal to half. So we are getting each of the ratio is equal to half, but this property, this cancellation is possible only if A plus B plus C is not equal to 0. So here we can write when A plus B plus C is not equal to 0, because denominator cannot be 0, then only the cancellation will be possible. So this property lies under the condition that the denominator should not be equal to 0. Now we can say under this property each of the ratio is equal to half. So that's the first part. Now we have to also show that each of the ratio is equal to -1. This is also to be shown. This we have done the first part, that each ratio has been shown equal to half, but under the condition A plus B plus C is not equal to 0. Now we have to show that each of these ratio is equal to -1. Now first case we have considered that A plus B plus C is not equal to 0. Now if we consider that A plus B plus C is equal to 0, then now if A plus B plus C is equal to 0, then from here we can get A plus B, you transfer it that side, is equal to -C. Hope this is clear. A plus B is equal to -C, or B plus C is equal to -A. You transfer A that side, so B plus C is equal to -A, or you transfer B that side, so you will get C plus A is equal to -B. See, in the first case we have considered that A plus B plus C is not equal to 0. Under that condition, we are getting each of the ratio is equal to half. Now we are considering the second condition, Suppose a plus b plus c is equal to 0. Now if a plus b plus c is equal to 0, then if you transfer c that side, you are getting a plus b is equal to minus c. If you transfer a that side, you are getting b plus c is equal to minus a. Or if you transfer b that side, you get a plus c is equal to minus b. Now consider the first ratio. A upon b plus c. Now in this ratio, this b plus c you can see can be replaced by minus a. See, b plus c can be replaced by minus a. So you are getting minus 1. So we have got value of a upon b plus c is equal to minus 1. Consider the second one, b upon c plus a. Now in this one, c plus a, this c plus a can be replaced with minus b. So you are getting the second ratio is also equal to minus 1. And the third one, c upon a plus b. Now in this one, a plus b can be replaced with minus c. So we have shown that each of the ratio is either equal to half under the condition a plus b plus c is not equal to 0, but if a plus b plus c is considered equal to 0, then each of the ratio will be equal to minus 1. So this is clear to you. So you can pause and note it down. Now in question number 5, first of all we see what we have to prove. What is given and what is to be proved. Now what is given to us is a upon b is the duplicate ratio of that, and you have to prove that c is the mean proportion. Now first of all let me explain you what you have to prove. See what we have to prove. To prove C is the mean proportion, that means you have to prove like this. This you have to prove. See, question says you have to prove that C is the mean proportion. So C is to lie in between A and B, and then they are in proportion. And we know that whenever three terms are in proportion, then what is the relation between them? Three terms in proportion. What is the relation between them? Now here C is the mean proportion, so we have to write C in between A and B. What is the relation when three terms are in proportion? Relation is product of the extremes, that is AB, is equal to square of the mean. Right? So all over we can say we have to prove AB is equal to C square. And how we got this, let me explain you. Now see, A, C, B, three terms are in proportion. So A upon C is equal to C upon B. You can write it like this, and now when you cross multiply, AB is equal to C square. This is how we got it. Okay, hope this is clear. Now we have to prove this. And what is given to us? Let us start with that. It is given A upon B is equal to duplicate of. Now on the right side, see A upon B is on the left side, is equal to, and on the right side you have to write duplicate of that. And how do we write the duplicate of a ratio? We always square it to write the duplicate. So we have to write duplicate of A plus C upon B plus C. Hope this statement is clear to you. A upon B, so this is A upon B, this is given is, so is equal to, now on the right side you have to write duplicate of that ratio. And how do we write the duplicate of a ratio? By squaring it. So this was given to us, now let us solve it. Now when you square it, we'll square it like this, now cross multiply. AB square 2ABC plus AC square. And we cross multiply here, A square B 2ABC plus BC square. Hope this is clear to you. Now 2ABC, this will cancel out. So we are left with AB square plus AC square this is clear. Now what we have to prove at the last, we need C square on one side and AB on the other side. So we will collect these two terms having C square on one side. So here on the left side AB is common. So we are left with B minus A. On the right side C square is common. So B minus A. So this B minus A will cancel out. So AB is equal to C square. So we have got the result. AB is equal to C square. So this result, what this result means, C is mean proportion. So C is the mean proportion between A and B. Whichever term you get in square equal to product of the other two, it is called mean proportion. So hence proved. So you can copy it down.